The 2021 Uniform Crime Reporting statistics from the FBI have been released, and the black percentage of known murder offenders surged from a record 56.5% in 2020 to an insane 60.4% in 2021. Steve Saylor writes on VDare.com, "For complicated bureaucratic methodological reasons, there was a huge decline in cooperation by local police departments from the mid-80% in 2020 to only 63% of U.S. law enforcement agencies in 2021. As CNN reports, this year shows the lowest level of participation the FBI has reported since at least 1979, with only 52% of agencies submitting complete data for 2021. So, as Steve Saylor suggests, this change may be due to a selection effect, or it could really be due to the racial reckoning that the establishment media declared after George Floyd's death.
What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? I'm the right-winged angel, Oliver Mack, and in this video, we got to talk about a mass shooting that happened in Alabama that the media is barely talking about. You know why? Because it was black people who were shot by other black people. Let's check this out.
A Sweet 16 birthday party turned tragic Saturday evening.
Police have blocked off Broadneck Street in Dadeville.
Gunfire erupting at this dance hall in Dadeville, Alabama, a small community about 60 miles northeast of Montgomery.
4 lives were lost in the tragic event that occurred here in Dadeville. As far as the injuries, there are 28 individuals that were injured during the course of the incident. Some of the
28 people who were injured in this mass shooting. Have you heard about it? Has anybody been talking about it? Has CNN been talking about this? I don't think so. But you know why? When these incidents happen in black neighborhoods by black people, they barely get attention. Did you know that most of the mass shootings in this country are perpetrated by black people against black people? Did you know that? If you listen to the media, you would think all mass shootings are perpetrated by white people. There's a lot of these situations that happen that the media barely talks about because they can't politicize them. They can't make it about taking away your AR-15s or your rifles. They can't make it about that because most of the mass shootings that are perpetrated in these neighborhoods by these types of people are done by handguns.
Those injuries are critical.
Among those killed, 18-year-old Phil Dowdall, a promising young football star who was headed to Jacksonville State on a scholarship this fall. It was his sister's birthday party.
Phil is a humble, a major smile. He had one goal is to, get to the NFL and take care of his mom.
Authorities have asked the public for any information that could help in the investigation.
So if you are at home right now or you know somebody that has any information about what occurred last night, I cannot stress this enough. Ever how minor you think it is, we absolutely need you to share it.
The tight-knit community now grieving.
Our thoughts and prayers are with all the families. There are no words to describe the emotions that we're all feeling.
According to the Gun Violence Archive, there have been at least 163 mass shootings so far this year, more than 1.5 per day, the highest on record at this point of the year. President Biden once again calling on Congress to enact common sense gun control legislation, writing in a statement, "What has our nation come to when children cannot attend a birthday party without fear, when parents have to worry every time their kids walk out the door to school, to the movie theater, or to the park?" Andrew Dimbert, ABC News, New York.
Of course. I said they couldn't politicize this. They are, because they're not looking at the facts of the case. They're just trying to make it fit in this space that they already laid out for all the other mass shootings. But this is not the same situation, Joe Biden. We're not talking about guns that are legally purchased. So when you want to enact these common sense gun laws, they're not going to stop what happened at this Sweet 16 birthday party, because the people who did this shooting most likely got the gun illegally, which is why people on the right, 2A people, they know that we shouldn't be giving up our guns because the criminals are not going to give up theirs. The only way to stop situations like this from happening or to shoot the gunmen before they shoot anybody else. That's how that works. But they'd only know one talking point, and that's take guns away. That's not gonna do anything. And I feel saddened by this situation and what has happened to these young people. But that's not the answer. Taking guns away is not the answer. What we need to be doing is locking up criminals. Now, the Democrats with their laxed on crime policies are what makes these situations happen. Because a lot of these people who are doing these shootings were already in custody for another crime. They were released early. They were released out on minimal bail or no bail. Then they go out and commit more crimes because they can. Because the prison system in these Democrat cities are a revolving door. They go in and they come right back out and they're committing crimes. If they had beef with somebody before they went in, they get out. Guess what? Now they got to handle business. Now they got an opportunity to finish what they started. And it's sad, but it's the culture. It's not the guns. It's the culture. When they said 162, I believe, mass shootings so far, how many of those have you heard of? Probably not many of them. You could probably name less than 10 out of the 162 that they mentioned in this video. You know why? Because they only highlight those that are some white mass shooter targeting a school or targeting a mall or something like that. Those mass shootings make up a very, very small percentage of the mass shootings that are committed in the United States of America. The largest percent of the mass shootings that are committed in the United States of America are just like the one that was mentioned in this story. It's happening in black neighborhoods by black people against black people. And they don't talk about those because they happen far too often. And there's very little that they can politicize about it. The only reason Joe Biden was able to politicize this is because not a lot of information has come out about it. And I'm sure once the information comes out, you will see that it was most likely a handgun. And if it's not a handgun, well, actually, if it's a handgun, it's an illegally purchased handgun. And if it's not a handgun, it's also illegally purchased. So there are no gun laws that would have stopped this mass shooting from happening. So you can kill that noise, okay? Because that's not what's going to stop this. What's going to stop this is a change in the culture. What's going to stop this is actually prosecuting criminals and getting tough on crime, not soft on crime, because you think being tough on crime is racist. You need to get tough on crime. Doesn't care who it was, what they look like, what skin color they are. Doesn't care. If you committed a crime, you need to go to prison. Okay? And I don't care about petty crimes. People talk all this crap about, oh, just a petty crime. They should get off for petty crimes. I don't care what it is. If you stole something, go to prison. So guess what? You sit there and think about what you did, and then maybe you change your life around and never go out and commit any other crimes. But a lot of people, they get on this power trip. They commit small crimes. They get away with it. Then they start to try to commit larger crimes to see if they can get away with that. And then when they get away with that, then they keep working their way up and up and up the ladder until they get to murder. And that's what happens a lot of times when you have these situations where people are being gunned down. Most likely the person who was shooting was probably targeting one or two people, but unfortunately, we don't know how to shoot because we shoot like this instead of like this, like we're supposed to. We never train to shoot because we just pick up guns that are stolen, that we buy out of somebody's truck, and then we never taught how to shoot them. We just spray indiscriminately at people, then end up hitting innocent bystanders like children. You see situations all the time where you have little children that were sitting in the car with their parents, with their parent, and then they get shot by a stray bullet. They're in their house and they get shot by a stray bullet. That's because these people don't know how to shoot. So if you're thinking about committing crimes or murdering people, go at least learn how to shoot first so you don't hit little children. These people are, oh my God. I just can't stand the state of the black community today because this is embarrassing. Okay? There's no kind of decorum. There's no kind of honor amongst thieves. There's none of that. They just do whatever, whenever, broad daylight, everybody watching. They don't care. It's a party full of people, and they don't care what they're doing. They don't care about getting caught because they feel like they're going to get out because they're under these policies where they can just do what they want and get out. Or there's this no snitching policy where if somebody sees something, they don't say something because if you say something, you're a snitch, and then you're demonized in your community, which is insane. If you see something, say something, because guess what? The next victim could be you. That's all I got to say about that. Thank you so much for watching. Please hit the like button, share, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff. All right, I'll catch you guys in our next video. I'm out. Peace.